Welcome to the Newage podcast. We is here today on episode 4. Been a little crazy little week. Had a little bit of snow, but they ain't stopped us from coming in here. What we got today, fellas?
Let's get it. It's like you said, it's been a little interesting week. Mm-hmm. My voice a little raspy right now. I'm trying to push through, but it's been a little interesting week. The beginning of the year, climbing through the hurdles already. Mm-hmm. Outside of that, I'm looking forward to what's in store.
Okay. So what I have today is I have a question. Okay. Would you rather have a 1-minute conversation with your past self or your future self? What you got for me, Ron?
I can't get back the time that's already been spent. So that conversation will set up the next 20, 30, 40 years of my life.
Would it though?
I think so. Because I would have
1 minute.
The trajectory of where.
No, but we talking about time travel now. You seen what just happened with the Avengers? You think it's going?
That's fake. That's fake.
Well, time travel fake.
Yeah, but he asked the question. I answered the question.
I know. I'm just saying. Would it change your present? What if it don't change? What if it doesn't change anything?
Well, my moves will be different. Like everything in the universe deals with cause and effect. So when you make a decision, it leads to consequences, results, etc. Either way, or benefits, right? Mm-hmm. So because my decision making would have been different, the results I believe would have been different. Because my direction that I decided or would have decided to go in would have been different. Again, my results would have been different, I believe.
I can dig that. Yeah. I believe in time travel, by the way.
How do we time travel?
It's a machine. It's a portal.
You seen one?
Donald Trump's uncle had the blueprint.
Okay.
Who you talking about? What is his name?
Say Elon Musk.
No, not Musk. What's the guy name? I know exactly who you talking about.
You talking about 2022 conspiracy theories again?
What is the guy name?
Not Tesla.
Yeah,
Tesla.
him.
Yeah, Tesla.
Yeah, that's what made me say Elon, but that's who I'm talking about, Tesla.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
That's why Donald Trump always talked about his uncle. He had the blueprint. FBI wanted to know what it was. Once he figured out what it was, they didn't tell the FBI what it was.
Yeah.
Shout out to Trump.
That's a lot of that digs into a lot of things of where we are today. It was reported that blueprint was stolen.
It was stolen, yeah.
And
what blueprint we talking about? We're not talking about Jay-Z blueprint.
Nikola or Nikola.
Yeah, it was
Tesla.
Tesla, yeah.
I can't think of how to pronounce his first name, either Nikola or Nikola.
Yeah, that was deep. I had read the article about that, and I was like, oh, it makes sense.
Why y'all think they don't teach about him more in schools?
Why he not in books, like history books? Tesla, I don't know. What you doing? Who you talking to, Datwan? Your past or your
going
future?
In the past. Minute conversation. I'm just gonna tell them everything gonna be okay. Look, that's a 10-second conversation, so may not even need a minute.
I'm talking to the future. The future is gonna talk to the past. Past gonna forget the shit anyway.
Explain.
I don't even know what you just said.
Yeah, when I talked in my 1-minute conversation with my future self, the future is gonna tell the past. I'm the past. Hey, let's get it. He dig what I'm saying. Look, that's all y'all need to know. I ain't telling y'all my secrets. That's the thing right there. I'm going to tell the future, and the future is telling the past. It's self-explanatory. If I talk to the future is talking to me, which is the past. Bingo!
Bing
Give me a bell,
bong.
yo. Give me a bell, yo.
Bing bong.
Let's get it. So what's up with this LaVar Ball you wanted to talk to us about?
You know, has LaVar Ball proved society wrong?
Yes. I think so. And I think
And also, coupled with that, has he set the blueprint for how things
should be.
Yeah, it should be moving forward.
Yeah, but nobody give him the recognition. They just look at him as the Mockingbird, and he's this and that. But yo got his 3 sons hooping. One of the top players in the NBA right now. They ain't even got 5 years under their belt. Mm-hmm. But they athletic and they talented, and bro, that's power right there. That's power. I think the last person that was like that was I want to say Michael Jordan father. That's why who else father that was at the games like LaVar Ball was. And you got something? You know anybody?
I mean, you got something.
Was Kobe father there?
No, his father wasn't at his games like that. Right. But his father, played part in his developmental process, I believe.
Okay.
I mean, even exposing him to that high level of professional, of what it takes to become a professional. That can't go unnoticed or written off. Because I believe that had a huge impact. A lot of times when we expose to things in life, it changes it broadens, our depth and our perspective on stuff.
Mm-hmm. What's the question?
The question is, has LaVar Ball proved society wrong? Coupled with, should he be the blueprint for how things is done?
Has he proved society wrong blueprint? I think it's multiple blueprints you can follow, but I do think he's been looked down upon when he should be praised more. I get that he can be somewhat erratic at times, but what he did is push his kids to what they want to do and what their dreams are. And 2 out of the 3 kids achieved their dreams by making it to the NBA. The third one played collegiate basketball in UCLA and almost got close to the NBA. So I think if any parent is watching that, they should look closely at what he actually did. Forget all the noise. But he just pushed his kids to push that, to go towards their dreams, and they accomplished it.
So that's it. I want to add to both of y'all's perspective with this. LaVar Ball did a couple of things to me. Number one, which was I'll go in order. He dispelled the myth of you need an education. Mm-hmm. You need to go to school, get this education to accomplish, the American dream or even your dreams, right? That's the first thing he did. The second thing he did is he proved that if you put your mind to it and you pursue it, pursue whatever those dreams are with, determined effort, that you can accomplish those things despite what the odds are, right? Mm-hmm. Because when we look at what those boys was able to accomplish, you gotta factor this in. Mm-hmm. That you talking about hundreds of thousands of kids, if not millions, all across the world fighting for 400 and something plus spots to make an NBA roster. Mm-hmm. So 2 out of the 3 of his kids was able to do that, and even the third one, it's not over for him yet. Yeah. He's getting looks. He's reportedly been doing, really well in the G League, etc. And lastly, which is probably, you know, the most hits home the most for me, is that he's proved that if you take your destiny that you have to take your destiny into your own hands and not rely on others, or not be dismayed by other people's opinions at the same time.
Yeah, and they had their own shoes too. That was definitely dope. They ain't signed with nobody, is they?
Yeah, a couple of both of them actually are signed with other people. I know LaMelo, the youngest, is signed with Puma. Yeah, I forget who.
I think Lonzo signed with Nike.
Okay. Yeah, but it's just a true, you know, testament to, I'm gonna say, faith and belief.
Yeah.
And how that can overcome all obstacles and all odds.
And having a family that sticks together, you know.
Yeah.
That's big too. Definitely having a father and a mother in the same household, and just sticking to that goal, and making sure, you know, the kids was just straight on. And look, it's amazing to see them two like go head to head. See the brothers go at it and stuff.
At the highest level.
Yeah, at the highest level. That's big, man. That's big. That's like a dream come true. You know, bro, we going against each other in the NBA. You feel me? So it's tough to see that. I definitely give LaVar his props. Kudos to him.
It's funny how we say that, you know, the blueprint is multiple ways you can win. But society doesn't look at it like it's multiple ways you can win. It tries to push you into one specific role, one specific blueprint. It's multiple blueprints, and LaVar Ball is an example of that. I want to talk about, well, I got a question. Should we, piggybacking off of LaVar Ball, should we focus on our strengths or our weaknesses more?
I'm going to say our strengths. I think we should always focus on our strengths more, because that what you give, you know, your energy to is the thing that you'll produce. You know, so if you're giving, you know, your energy to your weakness, you know, it takes so much more energy and attention to give to your weakness. I believe that will develop, you know, I think you should always be in a development stages or process of getting better in general. But I definitely think that we should always give more energy and attention to what our strengths are. You know, because whatever they are, most times they're unique within their own right. And that's, you know, something that's been given to us that, you know, I think can, you know, has the ability to impact, affect change, et cetera, so what have you. I'm stick with, I say strengths.
I would say split it down the middle, 50-50. But I'm going to say, I like what you said, Ron. I like what you said. I'm going to say, damn, that's a crazy question. I'm going to say weakness. This is one of the reasons why I say weakness, because that's one of the ones that's going to take your attention off of things. Like when you got your strengths and things, that you're good. That's over there. You're okay or whatever. That really don't bother. You know that you're good at this. But your strength's going to your weakness is going to keep popping up and keep messing with you and bothering you. So you got to figure out a way how you can take that weakness and put it there with with your strong points and stuff like that. So I say I'll focus on the weakness just so I won't have no weakness. I'm going to just say that or whatever. So I know I'm going to give an example. Battle rapping. I'm strong with performances and I'm strong with making the ball up, but my weakness is vocabulary.
Okay.
As one of my weaknesses. So once I start when I start focusing on different words and really putting it what it mean together, then that enhances everything else. So
That's a good
weakness.
That's a good perspective.
I think both of them was good answers. I feel like sometimes we focus on our weaknesses too much, and if we double down on our strengths, we can achieve a lot. But you make a good point. I think that's a real good answer.
But what if your weakness is stopping you from doing what you need to be doing to get to the next level?
I agree with you. I think you had a real good answer. I don't think it's a right or wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's about perspective. But I do think a lot of people focus on their weaknesses too much. They beat themselves up. Their weaknesses kind of cripple them if they just focused on their strengths. So let's say if I'm a painter, but I'm not a very social person, right? How do I get my paintings, discovered?
Right.
You kind of got to push your paintings out there socially, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if I start focus on the social part, my painting skills and my art may I may not start to produce as much, good art and good painting pieces.
Okay.
So what I can do, two things, I can find, even though I'm not that social, I can find a way, obviously we got social media, digital media, I can find a way to market it in a certain way, even though I don't have the external social skills, or I can find somebody else who has those strengths. A lot of times as entrepreneurs, we don't have everything, but we find the right people and build the right team to check all the boxes to make it a full team and to fully complete the goal. So I think too many people focus on weaknesses, but I do like your point, and I think we can, like you said in the beginning, 50-50 split. But I'm gonna choose strengths.
What's a big word in the word weakness that people focus on?
Weak.
Well, you said strong points, so your weak points.
So
you explain that.
So is the word can't rely in the word weakness? Like, you know how some people like, I can't do it. Is that like a weakness?
Yeah. I mean, okay. I think that comes in line with like self-doubt, lack of confidence, things like that. But it would all fall under, if I'm hearing you correctly, it would all fall under, under that umbrella of weakness.
Of the weakness. Okay.
Of what supports, the weakness.
So we got a comment in our Newage group chat, and one of the questions are, what's more important, discipline or motivation? Shout out to the Newage group chat.
Discipline. You get nowhere in this world without discipline.
I think that comes first.
Motivation is temporary.
Yeah. I think discipline comes first before motivation. I think once you get a good sense of direction and get the nail in the coffin and the blueprints of what you want to do or learn and stuff like that the right way, then that's when the motivation will come behind it. My son want to play football. He think that he can tell me how to throw the ball. But it ain't always about catching the ball. It's about, route running. It's about exercising. It's about getting in shape. Once you discipline a kid on this how it's supposed to be, if you want to be a football player, then that's when the motivation will come right behind it. So I definitely think discipline is more important.
You know what's funny about that is, the term itself.
Yeah.
Discipline. Like, we so often run away from that, because of our perspective and understanding, of that word discipline. A lot of times you say, I'm going to discipline my kid.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And most people, when we use that term, we talk about it in the sense of like a punishment or some form of correction. When in essence, that's really what it is. It's a form of correction. Mm-hmm. But we haven't, culturally, we haven't been accustomed to coming up under the structures of discipline. You look at, the Chinese culture, you look at the Jewish culture, you can look at so many other cultures where you see real discipline, and as a result of their discipline, you'll see them a lot further along than cultures such as ours who don't have those type of disciplines, right? They come over to America and they about their business right off top. Look, if we don't get out here, and Mexicans, et cetera, we don't get out here and work, hustle, whatever, so hey, put our axe to the grind, then we don't eat.
Right.
Americans, we just expect you to give it to us.
Right.
Give us the things that, but it's funny because we're not culturally ingrained in practicing discipline.
Did your parents discipline you when you was a kid?
In which form? The American form or what we just was talking about, sight?
He was getting beaten.
I think a little. I think that I might have been a little bit more. I might have been a little bit rebellious to that discipline because of the environment around me.
Okay. How about you, Datwan?
What's the question?
Was you damn, fart bubble. Did you get disciplined when you was little?
Yeah, of course. Is it
and
a certain...
Did it make you who you is today? Did your discipline help you, or you just found your own way? You know how it is in school, how it's like, when I was in math taught me how to, do my timetables, and, English taught me how to read or whatever. Did the discipline of your parents taught you how to be who you is today, or did you just find yourself?
Discipline. You talking about like punishment discipline? Or was we talking about...
No, not punishment discipline.
So you talking about like a work ethic discipline?
I want to say I want to say basically it's not punishment. When you say punishment discipline, I don't want to say time out or you get beaten. I'm talking about you got your mother and your father in the back of your head. I remember when they told me this. They told me I gotta look both ways in my car, or they told me if I steal out this store, I'm gonna get. You get what I'm saying? Really implement stuff in your head to the point you still got those notes. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I would say so. But,
okay.
I mean, I don't know how far extent that goes, but I definitely would say always from those discipline structures, I feel like it was always in the back of my head. It was always a don't cross this line type of ordeal.
Let me ask you this. What your mother told you that always stick with you?
I mean, so many things.
That says a lot of things.
But
shout out to you.
It's not nothing that, it's not one thing that really stands out. I think I got more from my mother from like watching her.
Okay.
That's what I was gonna say.
Okay.
Like,
Yeah. Like I was real observant when I was young. I think watching her really taught me a lot and ingrained a lot in me.
My grandmother, she was disciplined verbally. She always said, treat people how you want to be treated. I think that stayed with me for a long time. Treat people how you want to be treated, and always help others. Always help others. That's how you. She always had this one thing. Live. People always ask her like, what was the code of living long, and she always said, believe and help other people.
mm-hmm.
And she was like, we on this world just to help other people. And that really, by me, like you said, observation, by me seeing her do that, it strung along with me. And man, she wasn't lying. So I definitely go with that one.
So, in the crux of all of this, the overarching thing that I'm hearing is learning.
Learning, yeah.
The process of learning, and the results of it. We began talking about LaVar Ball, transition into with blueprints, et cetera, so have you. The way that our kids are learning today, the way that we learned coming up, the way that our parents have learned, and our grandparents, and so on, going back to generation. My question is the current state of the way we learn or how we learn or the emphasis put on those things, is that any longer, is it relevant any longer in the society we live in, and then as we see us transitioning and shifting to this whole new world? The current structure.
Are you saying the school system? Like, that's what you referring to?
Yeah, I have to, that has to be a part of it, because there's most emphasis put on that, That's why, I went down the thing talking about LaVar. We talked about, different blueprints, because the school system and our political structure has gave us a blueprint. Go to school, get a job, get an education, get married, buy a house,
that shit ain't happening.
Retire.
Yeah.
But like I said, LaVar debunked it. We can go down the line and see so many people dropped out of school, but are very successful, et cetera. So you look at the results of the school system as far as the testing grades, what's being reported, they're very low.
Very low.
But the emphasis is still put on school, and so much money need from the domestic budget needing to be poured into these school systems that's don't seem to be as relevant to those who are sitting or who it's supposed to be for, which is the students.
It's not. It's slowly like drifting away. Nobody needs it no more unless you want to, work 9 to 5 or something like that. But like the school system is definitely drifting away. Kids is really not learning nothing at all. This whole my kid just went from a computer back to in the school. It's so weird. And it's draining, and it's like I'd rather just teach my kid the stuff that they doing. For real. I'd rather just do it. He'll probably learn better instead of what other 20 other kids in the classroom. And that's another thing. Like, it's not, I'd say now to 5 years from now, the school system ain't going to be as important as it was when we was growing up and our parents. The kids is finding unlock. They finding a different code, and they going that route. They not going the school route no more. It's not important. It's too much. Too many people is being successful without the goddamn high school diploma.
Mm-hmm.
I think little baby just got his GED. That nigga a millionaire. Niggas, they don't. It's just a credential. It's just something to have on your goddamn portfolio. Yeah, went to school, got GED, got a diploma. Is when we was growing up, that's what the hell we had to do. We had to go to school. Period. You had to get the high school diploma. You ain't shit. Mm-hmm. That was the speech I was getting taught. You ain't shit unless you go to school and get a fucking high school diploma. Tell a kid now. That nigga probably got more money than you. So it's getting drifted away. The school system getting phony. The motherfuckers that's teaching don't even want to teach no more. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? They doing TikTok dances with the students. So it's all a fucking joke at the end of the day, and it's getting revealed. So yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, to piggyback off of what you just said, I think you said something about when I was growing up, they teach this, you ain't shit without a high school diploma. That in itself explains the whole thing. They taught us that.
Yeah.
That was never necessarily true, especially when you was in school, which is what, early mid 2000s, right?
Yeah, but not to cut you off, You don't think that's fucked up that our parents didn't even?
Well, they was taught the same thing. They was taught the same thing. The system is too systemized. It's too robotic. But it's robotic, but it's humanized. So that's what makes it even more flawed. Again, you said I'm not convinced that obviously people got passion for teaching. I'm not convinced that. Well, let me say it this way. I'm convinced that more teachers now are losing their passion for teaching. I'm convinced that more kids now are losing their passion for learning in school. I don't think that's the best. School is the best environment to learn in, to be honest with you. We were just talking about the other day. You know, kids really learning from kids.
No, it really is. That's weird.
And they go on YouTube or they go on whatever TikTok or whatever the case may be, and they learn by watching what the kids doing. So it's like it's a whole different world we live in now, and we still getting taught outdated and still got an outdated system.
Right.
I'm not sure. I'm with you. I'm not sure how. I think they'll continue to try to push the system, and I just think the system will continue to break.
Yeah. Okay.
You know what's interesting about that? What you just said, Datwan, is I'm looking at two dynamics, like the generations. So I'm looking at, let's say, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, right? Talking about the importance of education, and way down the line beyond her, we'll hear it in our communities, in our own households. But that older generation pushing that.
Yeah.
Pushing the importance of that, like drilling it, and you can't convince them otherwise that that's the way up and the way out. Even when you have proof. You just mentioned some little babies. We can go far down the line. You oftentimes talk about 18-year-olds making 200% returns and 1,000% returns in the stock market, et cetera, right? I just mentioned LaVar, the Ball brothers, right? So we got so many examples that will prove otherwise. You know what I mean? But yet and still, the generations, the generations above us,
you said it,
will, be very resistant to even giving a fair listening ear to somebody trying to share, or this newer generation, or the generations that come after them.
That's the big word right there. It's the generation. It takes generations to break something. Our parents back in that generations, they didn't know at all.
You know what's funny, and I'm glad you just brought it back up, because that's the thing that stood out to me when Datwan said it. The breaking of it.
Yeah.
That's the only way you can see this change, because nobody's listening to each other. So a break has to happen in order for the fix to take place. Just like what you look at people who break their limbs, their arms. Sometimes it has to be rebroken in order to heal correctly, because the first time it was broken and the way it was placed, it began to, I don't even want to say heal, form incorrectly. So in order for it to heal properly, it has to be rebroken and repositioned in order to heal properly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like I said, it's was you interested in what you was learning in school when you was in school?
I'm not gonna say. I'm gonna say no.
Okay.
I wasn't.
Hold on.
Okay, go ahead.
Was you interested?
Hell no. I wanted to play basketball in the gym.
All right. So neither two of you were interested in what you was learning in school. But to a certain degree, y'all went to school and y'all learned things, whatever the case may be, right? The experience of school made y'all want to go to school.
No.
What made y'all want to go to school?
I'm not gonna say nothing made me want to go. I had to go.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say friends. My friends made me want to go. I just wanted to go, holler, chop it up with them, have fun.
Right. So, good points from both of y'all. So that was 10, 12 years ago.
50.
20.
Dirty mother.
20, 25 years ago, whatever the case may be. Now throw in this. Throw in this. Something that you ain't have, you really ain't have it. Not to this capability. It's interesting because a lot of times we could tolerate school, even though we was forced to go. We didn't really want to be there, but we was with our friends. We could tolerate the school, because of those certain elements. I honestly feel as though kids is having a lower tolerance to tolerate school. All of those things are still there in every kid. I'm just here because I really got to be here. I'm just here really to enjoy my friends. But you throw this in the mix, and the attention on a teacher to teach me something that I'm not even interested in.
Right.
When I can go on here and be fully interested into whatever I want to be interested in, it throws all that out the window. It throws all of it out the window. I believe, I was saying this the other day, 5-10 years from now, as we continue to see the system being broke, we gonna put a lot of these kids in a box and say they got learning disorders. That is not the case. These kids do not have learning disorders. What's happening is
they know this.
What stimulates them isn't learning the way they're being taught.
Right.
Very good point.
What stimulates them now is, I'm learning digitally, I'm interacting digitally, socially. It's not a learning disorder. It's just an evolution of learning that we haven't factored in. We still factoring in a 100-year-old system.
Yeah, that's true.
When in all actuality, we need to evolve, because the world has evolved around us, especially this new generation.
Right.
I wanna go to a middle school and high school and just sit in the back of the class.
Me too. Like I feel like that'd be so fascinating to see. I would just watch the kids and the teacher.
And
I'm just like, I'm convinced.
We gotta talk to a principal or something.
Listen, right? I'm convinced. 5 years ago, what is it? 2022. So 6 years ago, when I was in high school, I'm convinced it done got double, triple, quadruple worse. As far as kids not being interested. And then that's one thing. But now the teacher's not even interested.
Yeah.
They like, we want remote learning just as much as the kids want. Some of the kids want
remote. I'd be at
remote.
home teaching them.
Right.
And see, the other big issue with this thing is, and both of you make good points about, or I really would love to do the same thing that you two just talked about, just sit in the back of be a fly on the wall and observe, both dynamics, the teacher as well as the student. The real, it's so much restriction with the United States educational system. Like, we got to teach this curriculum through this syllabus that I didn't design. Somebody else, from North Avenue, whatever jurisdiction that I'm teaching under has designed. So it's so much restriction, red tape, and barriers into making that connection or making this learning environment conducive for learning.
Yeah.
What real quick, what y'all think is the solution to this?
I think that you got to really understand the climate and the times that you in, and make the adjustment to that.
What's the adjustment?
How are kids learning? What interests kids? Set up a structure that can be, I talked to you about, wanting to start a school. Talk to them, or produce material and training that will get them in the things that interest them. Real quick, I gave, I seen a meme recently, right? And it was a bunch of animals, right, on the ground. And one person, like, awarding the animal. It was a monkey who they awarded, right? Rest of the animals, because the monkey could climb the tree, right? It was an elephant that the monkey was sitting on top of, whatever so have you, like he bragging, whatever so have you. So the meme said, talked about how dumb the rest of them was and how intelligent the monkey was. That's what it was pointing out. But the real thing was the monkey had capabilities that the elephant couldn't perform. So it's like, we talk about strengths and things like that, or skills and things like that. I think that you have to put kids and people in general in an environment that's conducive for learning and get towards their interests, their skills, and their strengths.
I'm gonna say you gotta learn these kids, get to know who they is and what they want to do, and get straight to the point. That old-fashioned shit, I gotta read fucking The Great Gatsby and write a report on this shit, that ain't gonna work with these kids today. Like you said, they
know what's funny? You know what's funny about that?
Hate that book.
Because he said read The Great Gatsby. But I'm sure they might love looking at the movie.
They might love looking at the movie.
That's a digital, you know what I'm saying, thing that's giving the same message coming across.
How about you, give everybody a fucking laptop. fuck getting these notebooks and shit, man. The shit don't work no more. You know, have some classes like, you know, whatever, but upgrade the evolution of learning. That's all you gotta really do. Make it a little bit more fun. And schools out there, y'all getting all that money, and y'all ain't taking these kids on no trips to expand that palette. You get what I'm talking? Yeah. Help me out a little bit, bro. I got stuck. I'm getting emotional.
You mentioned that to us before about, you know, the importance of these trips and expanding the kids' mind.
Man, trips are very important. I'm gonna give you an example.
You know, you exposing them to different things.
Yeah, like if you like let's say for instance, let's say fucking gym class or something. You know, you see the kids that want to play basketball. Take them kids, take them to a basketball game. The people that want to draw language arts, take them to a goddamn soap opera. I don't know, like it got to be more than just bringing these old ass dusty books with people on the moon and never
and the
been to the moon
pages ripped out.
And the page, you got penises. I opened the textbook, a bunch of dicks and balls in the textbooks, all types of fuck your mom, all types. Excuse my language, but all types of shit, boogers. This is ridiculous. These kids nowadays, they might smoke a little weed, they might sniff a little dope, but they ain't stupid. They not stupid no more, and they ain't with the bullshit. Thank you.
On that note, we got kids sniffing dope, kids smoking weed, ripped up textbooks.
Don't forget the dick
Boogies
pictures.
all in them.
Boogies all in them.
I seen them. I'll put a couple boogies in the text, but I ain't gonna lie.
Teachers don't want to teach. Students don't want to learn. LaVar Ball needs to save America. Welcome to the Newage podcast. Like, comment, subscribe. This is the Newage. Thank you, fellas. Welcome to it.